Right, today I'm gonna be changing my brakes on my Subaru Impreza WRX STI. It's a 1996 or possibly 1995, never quite sure. And I thought, as I was doing it, I might as well film it, and then there'll be a guide for other people that have never done it before. First thing to do is loosen all your wheel nuts a little bit before you jack the car up. And then you want to get the car in the air. So, got a low profile jack. It slides under there because my car's fairly low. And I'll let you jack it up on the where the lower wishbone bolts onto the chassis, because then you've got space to get axle stand on the jacking point. You can see my jacking points are all twisted up already anyway, so not too fussed about keeping them pristine. It is going for a bit of an underside restoration. So yeah. So once you've got the car in the air, you've got the jacking, got the axle stand there, so the wheel is completely off the ground. Just whip your wheel nuts up. Locking wheel nuts, you need to use the locking wheel spanner attachment to get that off, and pull the wheel all the way off. Go and put it somewhere safe. You can see my brake discs are quite warped because into a track day, and then the car broke down just at the end of some hot laps, so brakes didn't get a chance to cool, so it's got some really tight spots. So the next thing to do is to get the caliper off. You can see there's a bolt here at the top of the caliper and a bolt at the bottom of the caliper as well. That is a 17mm, and the trick to that, so lefty loosey, righty tighty, so you want to be turning it that way to undo it, and then it can be a bit tight, so get a ring spanner and just tap it with a mallet. Get you started. Saves trying to put too much tension on it and smashing your knuckles. Then you should be able to get the caliper off fairly easily, and then you don't want to have it dangling on the brake line, so the best thing is a little bungee cord. You can just hook it up somewhere that's onto the suspension, and then tap just to loosen the brake disc. Get that off. Just want to give this a really good clean, this face here. Next, you want to get your pads out, and to do that you've got to release this retaining spring, put it somewhere safe, because if you lose that you're a bit stuck, and you just pick out these pins that often go easily, sometimes less so. they're both the same length, so it doesn't matter if one's on the top, one's on the bottom. Okay, that's the second pin. New pads come out the back. Then in preparation for the new pads, you want to push the pistons back into the caliper. And there's all kinds of clever stuff you can get for doing this, but the easiest way is just a little clamp. Now I've opened up the lid of the brake fluid reservoir as well, so it's not air pressure adding resistance. This side, you can do them both at once, so that you don't have to push against the nut on the back. Just put the brake pad in. Oh, it's got a bit of tension in it. It's easy enough. And you can see there's now loads of space in there for the new pads to fit once we reassemble it. You can see this is. You can see that face is now nice and clean. I'm just going to apply a little smear of copper grease across it. Obviously you don't want to get grease onto your brake disc, but it is useful to grease some of your brake parts. Alright, so here we can see there's the old brake disc. Here's the new brake disc. It's got an arrow on it to say direction of rotation, so we know that this one is for the right hand side, so we'll rotate that way. So first thing you want to do obviously is check that they're the same size, so that's the new one on the bottom, old one on the top, put it over. Yep, fortunately I ordered the right one. Then you're going to peel a little sticker off. Now they always come with like an oily film over them to keep them from rusting when they're in storage, so you need to get yourself some brake cleaner. Just spray that liberally around, and then with a non-oily cloth, and give it a wipe. Flip it over. Do the same with the other side. Then you just got to try and make sure you don't pick it up with your oily hand, so you can just, if you carry it around, carry it by the hub. Right, so we're back at the car. You've got the mating surfaces all prepared. This one's nice and clean. Put that on first. Some nice clean threads on those. Apply just a little tiny bit of copper grease to the threads. And obviously make sure you're not getting your greasy fingers onto the disc at this point. So then a slightly fiddly bit, getting the caliper to align properly. So take it off its bungee. Then you just tighten those up. Then you should torque these to the correct spec, but it's very hard to get a torque wrench in here unless you've got a very high ramp, so that's just similar to undoing them, giving them a few taps with the mallet. Make sure they're tight. then you just need to go and fetch the pads. Right, you can see the new pads here, good thick amount of braking material on the back. Then we've got these stickers. Now, you don't have to take the stickers off. I don't think it will probably make any difference whatsoever, but for completeness, I like to take the sticker off. Give the back a little wipe with some brake cleaner just to get the residue off. And then just apply a little smear of copper grease to it, not too near the edges. This is supposedly just stops your brakes squeaking. Now, I've heard people that say definitely do it. I've heard people say definitely don't do it. I just do it. So you're free to suggest whether I should be doing it or not. It's probably not going to change what I'm going to do. So whilst we're here as well, these are the retaining pins for the pads. So it's going to give them a bit of a clean. Obviously, keep your pads away from anything that is reducing friction like WD-40. So the smoother these are, the easier they're going to be to slide in this time, and then the easier they're going to be to slide out next time. And you can feel they're a little bit rough. So make a little tube out of sandpaper. You can see all that stuff has come off them, and it's nice and smooth again. So that'll slide back into the caliper really nicely. Do the other one. And as we're here, might as well clean up this retaining spring as well. Okay, it's a lot cleaner. Could be much easier to work with. So take these parts and the pads back to the car. So you can see there's a nice big gap for the pads to slip into the caliper. So it's a bit tricky doing it one hand, but that's one. And then the one that's got these brake wear indicators, put on the outside because then that makes it a lot easier to see them. That slides in. And then the next thing is to put these retaining pins through, and then the retaining spring. So I'll pop you back down here. So the curly bit goes at the top, so as you push the pin through, it like hooks around it. And you want to get the little hole in the pin pointing upwards so you can get the end of the spring into it. If that makes sense. So it's all a bit of a case of wiggling stuff around. There we go. And you can hook this bit over the top of the pin. Get the other pad. And then the other side. And the other pin, you just push down this bit of the retainer. That goes underneath the pin. Goes through like that. And then this, you just pop one end in there, the middle in the little hole, and then one end in the other pin. But a bit harder to see. So, if I shine a bit of a light on here, you can see that retaining spring through that, through both the pins, top and bottom, and then the pin goes underneath this part, over the top of that part, and that puts the brake pads in exactly the right place. Then you can turn it, make sure there's clearance. Obviously it's self-clearancing, these brakes. It's time to put the wheel back on. Then check you haven't left anything up in the wheel well, like the bungee cord you're using to suspend onto the brake caliper. And it's time to get the car back down. Get out of the way. Everything down again. So the last little bits, you want to make sure you tighten up the lid of your brake fluid reservoir. And then, now the car is back on the ground, we can torque the wheel nuts to spec, and I generally use about 70 foot-pounds on this, which is I think the recommended one, and the normal wheel nuts are 19mm. Just to be a pain, the locking wheel nut is 22mm, and the only 22mm socket I've got is this long one, but does the job. That's it, you're ready for a test ride. That's the new brakes on, wheel back on, everything just needs a good clean, and then obviously you want to do about 200-300 miles of gentle braking just to break the brakes in, or run them in, wear them in, whatever. But yeah, it's a job that can cost a fair bit of money at a garage, but is fairly easy to do at home, and if you do it properly it'll be easier when you need to do it the next time. So I hope that was useful. Bye for now.